For a while now, I've been wanting to make something classy, but relaxed. Something I can wear at home and out and about. Practical, but elegant. I was inspired by the relaxed look of what I would call a mix between a jacket or a blazer and a shirt or blouse, but without making it look like pajamas. I love the look of the Armani blazers, but I need something a little simpler, something that I can go to the grocery stores with. For the pants, I want something elegant, but super simple and very comfortable. So I'm attempting to make an Armani-inspired jacket, blazer, blouse, robe, no, not robe, and comfy pants. And the big question is, can I make casual Armani? The blouse, blazer, let's go with blouse. It will not be lined, so there are not so many pattern pieces. I will overlock and press seams as I go throughout the project. I prepare by adding interfacing to facings and cuffs and overlocking the facing pieces. First I sew the darts, 2 on the back piece and 1 on each front piece. Next, all shoulder seams are sewn on both the shell and facing pieces. Then the center back seams. I make small cuts in the seam allowance at the sharp points where the shoulder meet the neck to open it up. I sew the neck seams. The facing is sewn to the shell along the outer edge. The seam is pressed. Then I attach the facing to the shell by pinning and sewing it on the top of the existing seams of the shell, neck and shoulders. Small cuts in the seam allowance help everything to lie flat. I also top stitch along the neck seam. I sew one row of gathering stitches to help ease in the sleeves to the armhole. I would prefer 2 rows, but this fabric is more fragile than I expected, and I don't want to risk damaging the fabric when removing the extra row of gathering stitches. Once the sleeves are attached, I close the side and sleeve seam in one go. The 2 cuff pieces are sewn together, top stitched and sewn into a loop. I attach the cuff to the sleeve the easy way. I sew all 3 layers together in one seam and overlock it. The blouse is hemmed by first sewing the bottom edge of the front facing to the hem, right sides together, then overlock. Press and sew the hem. Buttons, buttonholes, done. I use a woven, slightly stretchy fabric. The stretch is very important, otherwise I wouldn't get them past my hips. I haven't made a mock-up this time, so I add 1.5 cm seam allowance instead of 1 cm and overlock all edges beforehand. The pocket is sewn to the front piece, right sides together. The seam allowance is then understitched towards the pocket. I fold and sew the pocket. I close the top 8 cm of the pocket where the elastic band will be. The front and back legs are sewn right side together. One leg with the wrong side out, one with the right side out. I put the one with the right side out into the other, matching the crotch seam. The crotch seam is sewn. I tried the elastic band around my waist and cut it to a comfortable length, adding seam allowance. I sew it into a loop and mark the quarter points. I match these with the front, back and side seams. Carefully, I sew the elastic band to the pants on the overlocker. I stitch in the ditch to keep the waistband in place on the front, sides, back and pockets. Lastly, I hem the pants.